Hi guys, welcome back. And in this video, I'm still waiting on parts for this thing. And I ordered a ton of parts. They haven't come in yet. Still waiting on them. I did get the 2 new valves and the tappets for the rocker arms. I got those in, and I got the valve seals. I got the complete engine gaskets that came in. So I think in this video today, I know I said I was going to get on working on the CVT transmission, or the taking this apart down here, but I don't have the parts, so we're gonna work on what I do have parts for, and that is the head and rocker. So let's get to it. We need to take the valves out of here, so I need to clean this head all up, and I may even replace the valves. I'm not 100% sure yet. The tops of them are pretty walled out, and with them being like that, they're all, they're in rough shape. It almost looks like somebody over tightened them on an adjustment, but the valves are supposed to float free, and they're supposed to be able to rotate while the engine's running. And when they're dimpled like that and the adjuster is into it, if the valve does rotate, it's going to be out of adjustment, or it's going to keep it from rotating. So I think I really do need to replace these valves. I could basically take the valves out and resurface this, because the actual overall length of the valve doesn't matter, because it has screw type adjusters. So even if I do kiss this down just a tiny bit to smooth it out, I think we'll be all right. And I think I'm probably going to try that first before I buy valves. I got one out. Let's see if we can get the other one. There we go. So it looks like the spring retainer goes on before the valve seal itself. Let's pop this valve out and see what it looks like. And it's pretty carbonated, but the valve itself looks really good. It really does. Outside of the fact that the end of it is a little bit janky, but I can definitely fix that. All right, let's pull the valve seal out. That is some strong valve seals, that is for sure. All right, we got it off. I'll take this guy out for there. Put that in the box. I don't see anything else. All right, let's double check this real quick. Kind of loose, but she'll be all right. She's not leaking. All right, I'm going to take the other 3 out, just a repeat of that, and we'll come back when I'm done. Okay, all the valves are out. The valve seats look pretty good. I don't see any issues there. Just a little bit of carbon, and that should be a really easy cleanup. These valves, wow. I was burning oil for a while. That's for sure. But we'll clean these up, and I'm pretty sure that I can just flatten those bottoms out with a stone. We should be good. All right, I'm going to work on cleaning this up with a wire wheel, try to make it look a little better. Little WD-40, which I love to use as cleaner because it really does a nice job, and it doesn't It doesn't cause rust or anything like that. Well, let's get down to cleaning this up a little bit. All right, it's starting to look pretty good. We've got a ton of carbon inside of that though. So we're gonna have to do some scraping down inside of here. All right, now what I'm gonna do is get in here with a toothbrush. So we're gonna lather that up. I'm gonna grab the stone here. So I'll show you this part and then I'm gonna come off camera and clean this all up. I'm gonna take my brush. I'm going to go over the entire outside of this, clean it all up. But let me just give you guys an idea of what this will look like once I hit this a little bit. Looks much better already. All right, guys, the head's all cleaned up. And you can see down inside the ports, they look really good. Down in there's all nice and clean. I got all the carbon out. I mean, there's still some in there, but it's way better than it was. The top's cleaned. I stoned this surface. I stoned that surface. It looks good. I am going to lap the valves in after we clean them up. So I think next what we're going to do is we're going to work on cleaning these up. And I'm not going to video it. It's just basically a pick and a wire wheel until I get all that cooked on carbon off, and that's pretty much it. Well, I figured I'd show you guys how I'm getting a lot of this carbon off, and I'm just holding the valve down. I'm just scraping the shaft, and I'm not scraping it with the point. I'm scraping it with the radius part right here, just to get the heavy stuff off. And if you can see, it is taking it off. So, long process. I'll get it done. All right, this is the intake valve, and you can see after it's cleaned up, it looks really good. And we are going to reuse this for sure. And I touched up the end, and the end is flat now. And I used a combination of just lightly touching it with this, and then on my stone, just kind of holding it perpendicular and going back and forth like that to get a flat surface. And then I put a new chamfer on it. And it should be fine because it has adjustable tappets. So I didn't take a lot of material off, so all I did was just take out the pitting. And if you can look at that one there, you can see the pitting on it. So I was just taking out the pitting. All right, intake valve's good. Now, this is the exhaust valve. This is one that I hadn't cleaned yet. This one I cleaned. You can see the amount of carbon on the bottom of that. I can't get it off. It is baked on there. So I am just going to buy new valves. I'm not going to put these in here because I can't get it off, and it'll affect the way it runs. And it's just going to, being like that, it's just going to attract more carbon and more buildup. And then eventually, if it builds up enough, it might hit the top of the piston and then bend the valve. So I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. It's pretty raised up. I'm just gonna get new valves, new exhaust valves. Let's look at the tappets. The tappets are pretty worn. They have the same type of divots, and I wonder if I take those out, I can actually clean those up. You know what? I'm gonna replace those two. gonna replace all 4. We got in the valves, and I got in the tappets to go into the rocker arms. And I got these from Potzilla, and if anyone wants the part number, it's right there. These were 25 cents each, so $1 for 4 of them. I mean, might as well buy them. I mean, these are kind of beat up, so for $1, it cost me more to ship them. This black DeWalt Inkzol. These are really good fine tip markers. They write really well on steel, wood, paper. They're just good markers. That's what I use. So as you can see here, I just colored in the end, and we'll compare it to one I didn't. You can see the silver, no silver. So let's pop this thing in and see what kind of contact we're getting. Let's see. I'm just going to rub it back and forth to see if the valve's sitting all the way in there, so we don't get any blow by. Take a look. And I am seeing a little bit, I'm seeing some uneven wear here. I might have to lap these in. Didn't want to. Just going to try to avoid it. Actually, it looks pretty good. No, that one spot right there is not hitting. You guys can see it right there. See it? Not hitting. I'll try it one more time. All right, we're gonna have to lap that one in. Yeah, that one looks good. All right, let's take a look at these new valves. And I bought these valves off of eBay, and they're Keltrick, I think they are. They look pretty good compared to the other ones. They look the same. All right, let's color the edge on this and see what this looks like. These most likely will need to be lapped in because those other valves look pretty doesn't look bad. It's a little uneven right there. I mean, it looks good. You could get away with not lapping that, but I'm gonna lap these in because I'm here. Why not? Take a look at this one. Make sure it's in good shape, didn't get damaged. That looks good. All right, we're gonna need to lap these in. I'll do one of them, show you guys what it looks like, and the rest I'll do off camera. Yeah, we get that on there. Spin that around a little bit. And I think I'm just gonna, because I have enough sticking out, I'm just gonna tighten this down right on that. I'm gonna go at low speed actually. There we go. should do it. Still looks like it's abnormal. Let's blew it up and see what it looks like here. Let's put some of this on there. Let's take a look at it. That should take care of it. It is definitely a lot better. It just needs a tiny bit more. There's still just a little bit of a lip there. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see that it's still just a tiny bit thin in the middle there. A couple more runs with the lapping compound and we should be good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the rest of these through here and then come back when I'm ready to assemble. All right, guys, I cleaned this all up. This is the valve cover. I cleaned it all up. I stoned this surface. It looks really good. I stoned that surface and I stoned that surface. So this is all ready to go. What I'm going to do now is we're going to take the tappers out because I got new ones. And I'm going to show you one. I'll do the rest off camera. You can see the end of them. You can see how they it's kind of indented in the front and in the rear. And I don't think it's going to allow the valve to rotate inside the head. And the valve is supposed to rotate. And let's be honest, for 25 cents, I'm going to replace them. So let's pull out a new one. This one here is a brand new one. And you can see the difference here. That is perfectly, let's put them together here. You can see one has got facets on it. It's almost dented. The other one is nice and round. It's actually mushroomed over a little bit too. So I'm going to hang on to them. You never know. I could probably clean these up if I wanted to and reuse them. But I don't know. For 25 cents, I'll buy new ones. And these I'll hang on to in case I ever lose one cleaning a head or working on a head or what have you. So let's screw this in. Screw it in until I see the first thread. And that's good. And then I'm going to put the locking nut on. And you guys can see the difference there between the two tappets. A nice one and a worn out one that's mushroomed over. You can see how much bigger that one is than that because it's all mushroomed over. All right, I'm going to swap out the other three and come back when I'm done. All the new tappets are in. They look really nice. And for short money and peace of mind, well worth it. Not to mention that the old tappets were mushroomed over and they were flat spotted and 2 spots on each one. Makes it very difficult to properly get the valve adjustment in spec. So this will make it much easier. Let's get ready to put the valves in. These are the valve seals right here. And this is part of the complete engine gasket set that I got. The engine gasket set was like $110. It was pretty expensive. It is Vertex, or Vertex, however you want to say it, which is my gaskets of choice. I think they make the best aftermarket gaskets. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to pull all the valve seals out right now and put them over here. All right, let's install the valve seals. And the valve seals are not specific to exhaust and intake. They're all the same. So there really is no way to screw them up. All right, I'm going to put the valve seal in this valve here first. That's the one that we have up. You got to make sure that you put the spring on there. What's that called? The spring, I don't know what you call that. Spring retainer. If you don't put that on, you can't get the valve seal on. So, all right. There's one. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest and then come back. All right, let's put the valve in. And what I'm gonna do is this valve goes into this hole here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna oil the stem up a little bit so that it doesn't go in dry. Not gonna hurt. I'm gonna get plenty of lube inside the shaft point. Force it through real slow. There we go. All right, that one's in. Now, what we want to do is put the spring on, then the cap, and then we want to compress it. And then install the keepers, which is always the fun part. For anyone that's done this before, knows what I'm talking about. This is the edge here. All right. You guys can see down in there. Need to get a pair of tweezers so I can put those in. All right, tweezers. Now I want you guys to remember that these keepers went to this valve, so I'm not mix matching them. I kept everything together. So we shouldn't have any issues. Now I just want to make sure that we're where we need to be. Should be. I'm going to release this. Hopefully we're good. We are not. So you guys can see that one of the keepers did not set all the way in. Some kind of piece of paper or something. Let's get that out. Did not set all the way in. And one is really far in, so let's see if I can set it by hand. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can. And I think that's it. You can see it's all the way in. And we'll test it. Push the valve. I don't know if you guys can see that valve moving. That looks good. Looks good. All right, let's do number 2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. You guys get an idea of how these are done now. All right, guys, the valves are all assembled. They're all in there. They look good. Take a look at the bottom of that head. Doesn't that look nice? Isn't that beautiful? A little bit of oil in there from dripping down, but what a difference. What a difference from what it once was. And the rocker and the head all rebuilt, ready to go. And I think for storing purposes, I am just going to pop this on top. Not going to bolt it down or anything, but this will help keep dirt and debris out until I'm ready for it. And that'll hold it right like that. Well, there you have it. The head and rocker are all rebuilt. All right, guys, as you can see, the head is completely rebuilt. It's all done. Afternoon in the garage, and we got a brand new head. Wow. rebuilt, almost brand new. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Hit the subscribe button so you get more content on this Atticat 650H1 side-by-side, which is right here. And we got a lot more stuff going on with this thing, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait to continue with the rebuild. I got a top end on its way, cylinder, piston, all that stuff. I'll go over that in the next video. What else did I get? I got all the filters and everything on order, and parts are coming in little at a time. I don't know, for some reason they're taking a while. It must be because it's the holiday season. But anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video on this. And that's about it. And this should come out after Christmas, but before New Year's. So I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And, you know, make some resolutions, get out there, do some projects, have some fun, and enjoy life. And until the next one, Happy New Year.